honestly have no idea what any of this means. I know that God does, but I don't. But Charlie, baby, I know you do too. The evildoers responsible for my husband's assassination have no idea what they have done. They killed Charlie because he preached a message of patriotism, faith, and of God's merciful love. They should all know this. If you thought that my husband's mission was powerful before, you have no idea. You have no idea what you just have unleashed across this entire country.
Ever since Charlie Kirk's death, the internet has been flooded with debates. And now, his wife's speech has even added more fire, sparking emotions, different reactions, and conversations everywhere. Watch this and see how people are responding.
So Erica Kirk just gave a speech about her late husband, Charlie Kirk. But let's be clear, this is not a grieving widow. This is the most dangerous kind of woman, the male-centered woman. She stood up there and she called Charlie the perfect husband, the perfect father, and she promised that his voice, his movement, his mission will live on through her. But what was his mission? Right, inciting hate against minorities, against immigrants, against black people, against queer people, against women, us. She is not just mourning, she is sanctifying a man who spent his entire career demonizing the very communities that he put at risk. She is taking his politics of cruelty and she is trying to baptize them in widow's grief so that they appear holy, untouchable, and righteous. And that is the male-centered trap. Women who build their entire identities around a man, no matter how harmful he is, and then become the mouthpiece for his legacy. It's the patriarchy's favorite tool because if she says it, suddenly it looks more soft, more emotional, more justified. But don't get it twisted, because Erica Kirk's battle cry of a widow is not about love or healing. It's about rallying people to continue her husband's hate. And that's why we have to call it what it is: dangerous.
That video of Charlie Kirk's wife, Erica Kirk, rubbing all over Charlie Kirk's dead body and mourning him was honestly a little bit more disturbing to me than the actual footage of what happened to Charlie Kirk. That video of her rubbing his dead body made me so uncomfortable, and I don't know why. She literally grieves different. Like, why did she post that? I just feel like that was way too personal to be like uploading to Instagram. And then that speech she gave, the fake tears, the voice. She's trying to keep Turning Point going. She's trying to keep it going. She's trying to keep the violence going. She talked about how she's basically a scorned widow and you guys don't know what you guys have started. I don't know who you guys is because the shooter was a white male from Utah. So this is like some inner like conservative white on white crime going on. Just in the past 24 hours learned who Nick Fuentes is. Alt-right, white nationalist. Apparently he's like Charlie Kirk but on steroids. Apparently Charlie Kirk was moderate. Like, Nick Fuentes is definitely giving the vibes like he would just go out in his white robe right on national television. And apparently they're saying that's who's gonna be on the rise next. So
okay, I just got off Erica Kirk's live. Anyone else think it's bizarre? I might have jumped in at a bad time, but as soon as I joined, she was just plugging Turning Point over and over again, telling people to go join their local chapters. Like, what? And then at the end of it, she's like, Charlie baby. This is what she says. She's like, Charlie baby, I will never let it die. I will never let it die. Like, and not in like a genuine caring way, you know, like you love him so much and don't want his legacy to die. More like she looked like she was the new CEO. Like, what was that? This just happened too. This just happened. I don't know. Something about that live rubbed me so weird. But I don't want to judge a grieving wife because that's not my place. But that felt strange to me.
Your husband just got pew-pewed in the neck in front of you and your kids. And within 72 hours of his passing, You've already done a press conference. You're having people film you while you're kissing and caressing his corpse. I'm really not even trying to be funny. Are y'all not, is that not weird? It be my full life birthday and I don't even be taking pictures and videos of myself. You are standing in the room with his corpse. Has rigor mortis even set in? Is his amniotic fluid all the way in there? Like, and you're telling somebody to film this. And you're editing it and like posting it. And then it was like kind of like ASMR, like she was rubbing the fabric. The press conference, you wrote a speech, accepted it, got dressed, hair done, makeup. I'm sorry.
This one is probably going to be a little bit divisive, but I've seen the video of Erica Kirk, Charlie Kirk's wife, and her quite bizarre kind of setup for a statement about the loss of her husband. Now, as somebody who's kind of recently lost a very close family member under quite kind of tragic and traumatic circumstances, I can understand how grief is very different for everyone. But what I can't get my head around is that this woman lost her husband a matter of days ago, has 2 young children with him, yet is able to stand, deliver a kind of faultless statement, pre-written statement, obviously, with a smile on her face for a lot of it. It looks like crying, but there are no tears. And the weird thing is that it's in a really staged setup with a photo of Donald Trump as the Times Magazine Man of the Year or whatever it was, and 2 MAGA hats. And also, why is she completely in white? Like, again, I know it's grief and people grieve differently. It's so weird to have this, what looks like, it looks like a marketing piece, is the long and short of it. Like, it feels very cold and very sterile and just very, very bizarre for somebody who lost her husband so tragically. Why is one of the first things that she's doing going out and making this statement thanking the likes of JD Vance and Donald Trump? There's so much already that rings weird about this whole situation, and it doesn't add up. And this really adds to it. Am I the only person that's seeing that and is being a bit like, this is odd?
Listen, I cannot be the only one, but this does not look like grief to me. I'm an extremely death-positive person. There was a point in my life when I wanted to be a funeral director. I have seen grieving widows, okay, on more than one occasion. This is not what grief looks like. You're telling me she had time to get a fresh manicure that I saw, mind you, for the photo shoot she did with her husband's casket, a full face of glam. I would be inconsolable. If they put a camera near my partner's casket, I would be like a rabid dog with a bone. I would probably assault someone if they tried to put a camera in my face while I'm spending my final moments with my partner, their corpse. And instead of asking for peace and love and forgiveness during this time, she basically incited more violence. To put this into context, Sharon Osbourne still has not been seen. Ozzy died at the end of July, okay? Someone who spent her entire life in the limelight with the media and the press still hasn't been seen, and she just barely spoke. It's almost 2 months before she even spoke to the press. And you're telling me that this isn't performative? This is the grieving widow? What? I mean, am I crazy?
What the fuck was that Erica Kirk thing? What was that? What was that speech that she just gave? That was some terrifying ass, creepy ass, weird ass shit. Okay? I'm sorry. Listen, she lost her husband. She lost the father of her children. I definitely can sympathize with that. And gosh, her children, that's horrible. Why isn't she with them right now? And why is she giving a speech in full face, like less than 2 days after her husband was like suddenly brutally murdered, like looking into the camera and like threatening us? Like, What is she doing? Why is she acting like we did it? Bitch, go to the fucking jail and talk to that guy. Like, why are you like staring into our souls and like you're coming for us? Like, what? She's clearly being exploited by at the Trump administration. I don't know who's exploiting her and getting these like press conferences, but that is weird. Dude, tell me, am I wrong? Did fucking Jackie Kennedy do that like 2 days after her husband was assassinated like that? Like, not to even compare her to Jackie Kennedy because, oh my God. I'm just saying, like, that was weird. That was some Serena Joy ass shit, okay? Like, that was some Hunger Games. Like, what the fuck are they planning? I'm scared.
All I'm gonna say, and correct me if I'm wrong, but did y'all hear Erica Kirk's speech, Charlie Kirk's wife? To me, it didn't sound like a wife grieving, but more sounded like she was delivering a message. She mentioned in her statement, they. Who the hell is they? From all the information that the FBI released, it was only one person. And his family and a family friend turned his ass in for that $100,000 reward. We know what happened. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, but this speech sounded like it was directed to his following, his movement. Didn't sound like a wife grieving or addressing the nation. It didn't matter if you liked the guy or if you didn't. There's something hidden in this message, and only his followers or the movement will know.
This is a comment on a reel that I posted about what Erica Kirk said to her daughter when her daughter asked where daddy was. This bothers me, and obviously you have never experienced unexplainable, massive grief. 4 years ago, my brother-in-law was tragically killed. He left behind a pregnant wife and 3 little children. I sat there and watched her plan a funeral, plan her life now, and try and care for those little children. I watched her try to explain the best that she could to those kids why daddy wasn't coming home. She had a 2-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 6-year-old at the time. Guaranteed Erica gave her daughter a reason that her daughter would understand. She's 3 years old. She cannot comprehend what has happened. But she knows daddy works a lot. So for her, she would understand daddy's on a work trip with Jesus. She knows who Jesus is. She knows daddy works a lot. As for Erica's mannerisms, 48 hours ago, her husband was killed. She has no idea which side is up right now. She is trying to navigate a new normal. She is trying to care for her children. She is trying to care for herself. She still has not grasped what has happened. It will be weeks before the new normal sets in and she navigates things and everything else. So until you have experienced unimaginable, unexpected, shocking grief like this, please don't be so quick to judge. Please don't be so quick to be a thumb warrior on here. Give her some grace and understand, or even try to comprehend the amount of pain that she is going through. It took every ounce of energy she has left to get up there and make that public statement that she knew she needed to make. She had to make. Give her some credit.
All right, beautiful friends, welcome back. By the way, I hope you're doing well today. So as I was watching these clips on TikTok, I also went through the comment section, and I tell you, people are not just reacting to her speech through videos, but also the comments are flooded. I tell you, from the very first day this man's incident came on the internet, it has always been debates after debates, and I do not know where this whole thing is going to end, but let's take a quick look at some of the comments that I grabbed. The first one, it's giving my dog stepped on a bee vibes. And then somebody said, her frozen face with dry eyes and call to action for violence was petrifying. Another one, her talking about him being in heaven was so bizarre. Then the creator responded, "Is not in heaven, where it is begins with a H, but it's not heaven." You know, it amazes me how people try to like bring heaven stuff when someone is dead. They start this debate of whether the person is in heaven or in hell. In my own opinion, I think that one now is between the dead and God. But believers always act as if they know so much about heaven more than hell. The next comment: does she know that her husband couldn't have cared less about her rights? The way people are reminding this woman about what the husband did when he was alive. This is the comment that got me on the floor. She rehearsed this for several hours. Then someone replied, "and the coffin thing," and someone else again replied, "on the plane with JD Vance." People. And another comment that got me on the floor is this one. She acts like she's shooting for a movie. Ish! People will never leave you alone as long as you don't control what comes out of your mouth. To be honest, what is triggering so many people is what she said, like she believes like maybe there is a group of people, and yet she already knows that the suspect is in the custody and probably is being interrogated to find out the truth from him. From the day that the man's picture was released, plus like his details, I still have this feeling like this man is not alone in this, because a 22-year-old can't plan something like this. I'm not trying to say like is innocent or something, but I still feel like there is more to this than what the internet is putting out or what even we know so far. The weirdest part of her speech is what she talked about, like the people behind the husband's death, blah blah blah. All those, you already heard what she said. I feel like even those who are sympathizing with her might not continue doing that because of the way she's speaking. Normally people always think like if you're already a widow, you're supposed to act like one, like you're supposed to be somewhere quiet, like in that grieving mode, you know. But I've seen people even talking about her nails, like she made new nails, why is she wearing white color, blah, blah. Like people are really getting so hard on this woman. You know, when her video popped up on my FYP, I was watching that part that she was talking about the daughter asking about the father. From the very first day I watched that video of the man after like he was prepared and later announced gone, I felt so bad, especially for the kids, because I myself am a victim. Like my father was also killed, but it was during the time of war, and I was only 3 years old. Like the day I made 3 years old, that's when my father was also killed. So I felt really bad for these little kids because they do not know anything. They don't understand what's going on now. But as they grow up, they will like get to realize that it's not so easy to pull yourself, like keep on moving forward while seeing other people with their fathers happy, enjoying, you know. I know there's absolutely nothing anyone can do about this whole thing, but I just pray that those girls grow up to be strong enough, because this journey is not gonna be so easy. I know that feeling very well. And back to the reactions of people about her words, I personally felt like some of her words were like not called for, especially at this time. Though we all know that people grieve differently, and it's not in our position to like tell people how to grieve, all those things, you know. So I'm not judging her. That's all that I thought of sharing with you in today's video. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section. Do well to like it, subscribe if you have not, share it too, and take care of yourself. I'll meet you in my next one. Bye.